Hello, my name is MS1251A, and in part 2 of this series I finished priming the bulk of the parts to the stinky high-grade Wing Zero Gundam from the 90s. After letting the primer cure overnight, I had to pick out the parts that needed to be painted in both white and metallic candy coat and began masking them. This was a long and tedious process. The shoulder armor was a bit tricky due to the round shape in the front of the part. I had to cut a circle in the masking tape using an alpha circle cutter and then cut up that outer circle into pieces and slowly mask around the circular shape a piece of masking tape at a time. The rest of the pieces were relatively easy to mask. There was some very tricky small pieces of masking tape to be cut and placed in the feet, but nothing difficult. It was mostly tedious work. After masking these parts, I thinned some silver enamel paint and sprayed these parts with the silver base that will make the foundation for the candy coats later on. After letting these parts cure overnight, here's the end result. The next day, I gathered all the parts that I had sprayed with the chrome silver base and got them ready for the candy coats. I began by spraying the blue colored parts. I thinned Tamiya X23 clear blue, 1 part thinner and 2 parts paint, and laid down about 4 coats of paint while letting them flash for about 10 minutes in between each coat. I wasn't satisfied with just 4 coats, so I went ahead and applied 6 more till I reached the desired effect I was looking for. After 10 coats, here's what they look like after letting them cure overnight. These are starting to look good. I'm super excited. For the red parts, I followed the same steps identically. I sprayed them with Tamiya X27 Clear Red. I apologize for the less than optimal camera angles in the video. I am working with a limited setup here and my camera doesn't have the widest field of view. I've noticed that my hand gets in the way of seeing the actual airbrushing taking place on the parts. I'm working on improving the quality of the angles and shots for future videos. If you have any suggestions on how I can remedy this, please let me know in the comments. These parts also took about 10 thin coats of clear red before I achieved the red I was looking for. I also let these cure overnight. I apologize, I don't have footage of the end results for the red parts because I accidentally lost those files. They were corrupt in my SD card and thus I lost some of the process. Moving on, I began mixing some LC4100 acrylic urethane clear coat. This is the industrial grade clear coat usually used by collision repair car body shops. I've been wanting to test how it reacts with hobby grade paints and plastics. Before clear coating the Wing Zero's candy parts, I did a spray test on the spoons that I painted in my previous video. If you're interested in checking out that video, the link is in the description down below. Anyway, after spraying the spoons with the urethane clear coat and letting them cure for a couple of hours, I didn't notice any negative reactions. So I went ahead and began clear coating the parts for the Gundam. This urethane clear coat wasn't intended to be used for hobby use, especially at home indoors. I love the results it yields, but I don't enjoy spraying it very much as it's volatile and toxic. I had to use my organic vapors mask while spraying the parts as close to the exhaust fan in my cheapo spray booth as I possibly could. I've since replaced this hobby booth with a much more effective one. I ordered a Peacekeeper spray booth and made an unboxing and quick demo video. The link to that video is also in the description below. Every time I put on the spray mask, I hear this in my head. Okay, I'll just see myself out the door. Anyway, I chose this clear coat because it has fantastic leveling properties. This helps minimize orange peel and makes polishing optional. It is also extremely durable, and it will help protect the delicate Tamiya clear candy coats below it. And here's all the candy coated parts. As you can see, they're all nice and shiny and won't require much polishing. I wanted to conclude the restoration of the Wing Zero in this video, but the process is taking longer to showcase than I originally thought it would. As a result, I will have to conclude this build in part 4 of the series. As always, thank you for spending your valuable time with me, and I hope to see you here on the next video.